Yo, Kingearner coming to y'all live and direct. The person I'm speaking on today, a lot of people is going to be upset at the fact that I'm saying what I'm going to say about him. But I'm hoping that the real men of honor, the ones that be in the comments that's supporting me giving the youth the understanding of not following these fake individuals and not following these individuals that will later in life turn them in. Or shoot them in the back of their head and keep it pushing. Paul Castellano. I'm gonna tell y'all 100% that Paul was weak. Nothing about him had strength. You can tell how he had that meeting he had when John Gotti first came on. And I'm not referring to the movie that just came out with John Travolta. I'm referring to the HBO special. And, it was a lot of real events when you look up the story about Paul Castellano, John Gotti, Sammy the Boy, and these individuals. That movie had more strength than any movie did in reference to John Gotti. Now, I'm going to tell you why Paul Castellano was very weak. The reason why Paul was very weak was because there's no way a businessman can be a successful drug dealer and deal with wolves. You see what I'm saying? Eventually, those wolves will turn against him. You know why? Most businessmen want to keep things business. They don't want to bend the rules a little bit. And when they do bend the rules, it's only to benefit them. You see what I'm saying? So when he started going against John Gotti and going against the people that was doing things that wasn't even mafia members, when he started doing that, I knew that it was going to be a problem. As I watched the movie, I was just sitting there looking like, hold on for a second. You're not going to tell me that they're not going to clip this guy. The whole time, John Gotti expressed to Neil how he felt about this individual. This guy wasn't even supposed to be next up. Neil was supposed to be next, but because Carl Gambino had an honor towards Paul Castellano through a marriage or whatever the case may be, he made him boss. How is that guy that's going to sit when it comes down to a person like John Gotti working and coming up in the ranks? When he came home, the first thing John done was said, I don't understand. How can this guy be a boss of a family? You have to earn your stripes. Businessmen don't earn anything. Majority businessmen, you know what they do? They use the people that work for them to do all the work for them, and then they drain them out of all their money. Paul was the type of individual that would squeeze a quarter to the eagle scream. He always made sure that he ate, but no one else did. They even said in one of the parts of the movie how everybody was starved underneath of the guy. When they had the meeting off the record in reference to telling John about what happened, about Paul Castellano planning on clipping him and his whole squad for Angie and them dealing in heroin, it went south, man. It went bad for Paul. Paul didn't know who he was amongst. You have to realize John Gotti was the type of individual who looked up to Anastasia. He had the same type of honors. He dressed, he talked, he walked. Everything he done was like Anastasia. Carl Gambino, if I'm not mistaken, he killed Anastasia, cut his throat in the barbershop, became boss. That didn't work out too well with individuals. A lot of people had to swallow their pride and their tongue in order to even deal with it. Youngins, the message that's in here for you guys is that I don't want none of y'all to think that y'all could work, right? Be working, you know how you got that homie that's working? He's doing well. He's being successful. His credit, he got his car. He finally got his big house. Now he's able to buy a Gucci belt. Now he's able to buy a gold rope. Now he's able to, do things for his family. Then he feel like he had to do things for his homies. He feel like he got to take all the cash, everything that he done, and be a part of their business. That's when you fell at. Because being a part of that business makes you illegal now. And you never knew nothing illegally. If you did, you wouldn't have been working from the jump. I mean, there's no individuals that start off working from the jump that have strength that decide, so you know what, I'm going to stop working, or I'm going to continue to work, and I'm going to sell drugs. Why? There is no benefit for you in a drug world. There is no benefit for you in the crime area, but yet you tend to always want to be down. But as soon as they come for you and you go to jail, you're different than Big Paul. Because Big Paul was weak in reference to strength and muscle, but he wasn't a rat. He stood tall and refused to tell on any of his colleagues. Any of the guys that he ran around with, any of the people that was a part about what he was doing, he refused to tell on them. So he had some strength in his heart and in his veins, but in reference to being a street guy, he had none of that. So we must begin to understand that if we're going to step off the steps into a street mentality after being in the business for years and working for a business for years or working for a corporation, be expected to get down quick. Because if you didn't study the street life, meaning actually walking those curbs, actually standing out there on them corners late night, actually fighting individuals fist for fist before the guns came about, there's no need for you to step into that. Because you're going to wind up losing like Big Paul did. You're going to wind up getting clipped. And you're going to find out the person that got you clipped when you get to hell, I guess, or wherever you get to. Whenever you get the understanding of what happened to you, you're going to find out it was somebody close to you. You're just going to find out the guys that surround you is the ones that got you clipped. Because guess what? You came in with that business attitude, and guess what? They didn't like that you wasn't sharing. And they're going to kill you for that. And I want for all the youngers to understand that if you're in the streets, there's no way you can be a piece of doo-doo and not look out for the guys that you're around. But this is how you look out for them more than anything, especially if you're an older individual and you have younger guys that's a part of your organization of street crime. You go to them today and you tell them, you know what, today was our last flip. And what we're going to do, we're going to get some EIN numbers, and we're going to get some business licenses, and we're going to get some product to sell, except this product isn't going to be crack. This product isn't going to be drugs, period. It's going to be something of positivity. I don't care if it's umbrellas when it's raining. Whatever the case may be, we must begin to what? Strengthen our youth to give them the understanding that even if some of them did started off selling drugs and doing the wrong thing, that they can actually become a businessman and be a better man. And guess what? You don't got to worry about the government taking your money because you're going to be paying taxes. And then if you want to go any further, you can get a nonprofit organization and really give back and help. And guess what? They won't touch none of your money. You'll be tax exempt. So before we start talking about individuals, talking bad to people, let's start by talking to them first. Because a lot of people come to these platforms to talk about people first. And the people I'm usually talking about, it's an example for the youngest to get, knowledge of what not to do. It's not an example of putting people out there, because these people probably been out there millions and millions of times and minutes and hours and years ago before I can even think about doing it. I'm just restoring the honor in the youngest heart so they can understand, because they don't understand that guy who comes in the classroom with the tie on. When I work into the schools and I come in, I give them these same examples, and the teachers are all right with that. You know why? Because they have an understanding that I know what I'm doing. You know why they know what I'm doing? Because guess what I've done in my time? I've taken time in my city to go after the ones that really get in trouble, not the children that getting all the A's and the B's, and some of them get the C's. No, I'm going after the ones who get all the F's and the D's that don't want to come to school, and I'm giving them honor in their veins. I'm giving them an understanding of what not to do. And that's what a lot of you guys not doing. Instead of y'all coming here in the comments and telling me what I should be doing and how I should be doing it, you should be taking and building a platform for you to do what you want to do, because guess what? That way ain't working. Everybody tried it already. Nobody has tried to give the example of the past to help the future, but I am doing that. And I'm Kingearner from the Honor Your Life campaign. Those that don't like me will begin to like me when their child comes in and their child say they heard what Kingearner said and they don't want to sell drugs. No matter how many beatings you gave them, they still wanted to go back out there and do the wrong thing. No matter how many times you had parent conference, guess what? They still wanted to go out there and do the wrong thing. But you know why they wanted to continue to do the wrong thing? Because they had no knowledge of the things that I'm speaking on. You just tell them, do the right thing. They listen to you just like they listened to Spike Lee and they gave him a movie. Don't do the right thing. I'm telling the youngest, do the right thing because I experienced it. You don't want to be like a Big Paul and get ambushed, ran down on you, every gun all on you because you was trying to be down with the in crowd. Get out from with the in crowd and get with the out crowd and get a job and work and wind up running your own business and own a corporation where you can give jobs and you can make calls and you can be a positive individual. I'm Kingearner from the Honor Your Life campaign. We must first do what? Lead by example. So that's what I done in 2010. I came away from the drugs. I came away from the negativity. Yeah, people see me in rap videos and those guys are good men. You hear me? I don't care what nobody say because all I've known of them people being positive, those of honor, have positive vibes and positive things going on. And that's what I care about. I'm not here to bring forth the people that are out in the communities today. I'm here to bring forth the people who was in the community years ago and destroyed it. Because guess what? I was a person who destroyed the community and now I'm rebuilding it. Paul was weak. Only reason why he was weak because he was a businessman. He was a weasel, as Neil said in the movie. He didn't have no strength. He made calls that he didn't even have an understanding of. And he judged certain things about John Gotti crew selling drugs. But guess what he didn't do? He didn't judge people that was amongst his crew or the Genovese family that done them things either. You know why? Because he was earning with them. Learn to honor those who tell you the truth, not those who give you a lie just for a buck. Kingearner, live and direct.